This is how we're going to set up our RS3 Reaper pistols, how we're going to connect it to a mini PC and a console. The console looks the same as our old console, but does not emulate any retro games. It is a 12-volt console, so do not plug anything but 12 volt into it. On this side, we have the connections for the pedals, the recoil, and the USB. And on this side, it's got another USB port and a settings button. So we're going to use a 12 volt power adapter. Make sure that it's 12 volt, 3 amp, or 5 amp, excuse me. 12 volt is the most important part in connecting this. We can connect our HDMI on this side as well. We also had on this side a Ethernet port, and a SD card can fit into that console. This is our hub. It is a 12 volt and 24 volt hub, so they can be used with our MX24, our red and blue pistols, and the Reapers. So we're going to use, for the Reapers, a 24 volt power adapter. Make sure that you're using a 24 volt power adapter and connecting it to the extension hub. The color of the LED lights on the extension hub, once powered on with a 24 volt, will be purple. It's blue when you're using a 12 volt power adapter. Each one of our pistols comes with a USB and a barrel connector. The barrel connector is a 3.5 by 1.5 millimeter if you ever need to get anything for that. It's 3.5 by 1.5 millimeter. So here we're plugging it into player one side of our extension hub. This is the black console, the black pistol. It's going to be plugged into player one side. As you can see there, it's in the recoil and the USB port. Make sure that you're plugging the recoil into the recoil port. This is the pedal. We're going to connect this to the same side as the gun that we just connected, and we're going to connect it where it says pedal. The gray pistol is also going to have the same ports, the same plugs. We've got the USB and we have the barrel connector. So we're going to plug this one into the player 2 side. Make sure that the dip switch settings underneath the pistol barrel are set to player 1 and player 2. And once again, don't forget, plug the recoil into the port where it says recoil. All right, here we have everything plugged in. We've got the gun, player 1, player 2, we have the pedal, and we have the power adapter. This is a USB to USB-C. This is what we use to power our sensors. This can be plugged into pretty much any power source for USB. Here I've got it plugged into the extension hub, but it can be plugged in anywhere. On each one of the sensors, there's 2 USB-C ports, and there are 2 arrows. Make sure that the arrows are pointing to the screen when you attach it to your screen. So here we have both of the sensors connected to the USB to USB-C cable. We have also provided a USB-C to USB-C cable, and this is going to be used for another sensor, because what we can do is we can daisy chain our sensors together by plugging power into one side and plugging the other sensor into the other side. That means that the power is flowing through one of the sensors and into the other. Here I have a 90-degree USB-C sort of adapter. This just lets the USB-C cable come out the back instead of going out the side of the sensor. So these can be used on all 4 of your sensors if you wanted to. That way you can hide the cables a little bit more easy if you're mounting it on the top of a TV. If you're mounting it flat onto a surface, it's not going to work very well. You're going to want to use the USB-C ports on the side of the sensor. So I'm going to do the same for the 4th sensor. We need 4 sensors for the retro shooter guns, the Reapers, the MX24, and the blue and red pistols. So here I'm just plugging it into the other side just to show you that it can be used on either side. The power can be plugged into either side of the sensor, whichever one you feel is needed. And you don't need to daisy chain them together if you don't want to. You can plug each one individually into a power source as well, depending on how your cabinet or your screen is all set up. I've also seen people using power bricks, like little USB power supplies, batteries, to power them. So here we have our pedal connected, we have our player 1, the black gun, connected with the recoil, and we have the player 2 gray gun connected with the recoil as well. At the back of our extension hub, we have a USB port, or a cable, excuse me. This is going to be plugged into your console. It could be a PC, it could be a mini PC, a Raspberry Pi. Here I'm going to show you plugging it into the Retro Shooter console. There are many USB ports on this console, and you can plug it into pretty much any of them. Here I'm showing you as I plug it into the player 1 USB port on this console. So both guns are connected to this USB port. So this is how you would have it set up for connecting to the console. We can also connect to a mini PC. As you can see here, we'd connect the HDMI and the power, and then we would be able to connect the same way we've connected the guns to that extension hub. And then we're going to take the USB cable from the back of the extension hub, and we're going to plug it directly in to the USB port on the mini PC. Here I'm just showing you that everything else is connected to the hub. So we're going to connect it here. We've got our power already plugged into the hub, and everything is plugged into that hub. Once you're ready to play, you can power on the hub with the little white button at the back, and you're going to be ready to go. Make sure we're using the correct power adapter for the guns that you're using. 24 volt for the MX24 and the Reapers, and 12 volt for the red and blue ones. Once again, you can power the sensors from multiple sources. Here I'm going to show you how it's powered through the mini PC. It can be powered through a TV or a PC as well. So this is how we would set up our Retro Shooter RS3 Reapers using the extension hub